Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and a little uncomfortable: money. Specifically, we're going to explore what the Bible surprisingly reveals about how wealth can distort our faith. Now, this isn't about saying money is evil, not at all. It's about understanding its power and how it can subtly shift our perspective. So let's start with a classic story many of us know: the rich young ruler. In the Gospel of Mark, a wealthy young man comes to Jesus and asks what he must do to inherit eternal life. He's a good guy. He says he's kept all the commandments since he was a boy. But then Jesus gives him a challenge that hits right at the heart of the matter. He says, "Go, sell everything you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." The Bible tells us the young man's face fell and he went away sad because he had great wealth. Think about that for a moment. He was so close, but his possessions had a hold on him that he couldn't break. This story isn't just about one guy long ago. It's a mirror for us. It reveals the first major distortion. Wealth can become our primary source of security instead of God. When our bank account is full, it's easy to feel self-sufficient, to think we've got everything under control. We rely on our financial cushion rather than leaning on God for our daily bread. It's a subtle shift, but it's a powerful one that can quietly move God from the center of our lives to the sidelines. The second distortion wealth can create is a skewed sense of value. Jesus talks about this a lot. In the Sermon on the Mount, he says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven." He's drawing a clear line between temporary, earthly value and eternal, heavenly value. When we're surrounded by wealth, our society constantly tells us that our worth is tied to what we own: the car we drive, the house we live in, the brand of clothes we wear. It's a hamster wheel of consumerism. We start judging ourselves and others based on material success. This completely contradicts the biblical view that our value is inherent because we are made in the image of God. Our worth isn't in our wallet, it's in our soul. Wealth can blind us to this truth, making us chase things that ultimately don't matter, while neglecting the things that do, like love, kindness, and our relationship with God. And that brings us to the third and perhaps most dangerous distortion: the illusion of control. The book of Proverbs warns us, "Whoever trusts in his riches will fall." Wealth gives us the feeling that we are the masters of our own destiny. We can buy our way out of problems, we can plan our future with certainty, and we can insulate ourselves from the messy, unpredictable parts of life. But this is just an illusion. The parable of the rich fool in Luke's Gospel illustrates this perfectly. A rich man has a huge harvest and decides to build bigger barns to store it all. He tells himself, "You have plenty of good things laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry." But God says to him, "You fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself?" This man's wealth made him forget his own mortality and his dependence on God. He thought he was in control, but he wasn't. The truth is, none of us are. True faith requires surrender. It requires acknowledging that God is sovereign and that our lives are in His hands. Wealth fights against this surrender, whispering in our ear that we don't need to trust because we can provide for ourselves. So what's the takeaway here? Is the goal to be poor? No, the Bible doesn't condemn wealth itself, but it powerfully warns us about the love of money. The key is our heart's posture. The Bible teaches us to hold our possessions loosely and to see ourselves as stewards, not owners. Our wealth, whether it's a little or a lot, is a tool that God has entrusted to us. The real question is, are we using it for our own kingdom or for God's kingdom? Are we using it to build bigger barns for ourselves, or are we using it to serve others and store up treasure in heaven? This is a challenge for every single one of us, no matter our financial situation. It's about constantly checking our hearts and asking, where is my security? What do I truly value? And who is ultimately in control of my life? By wrestling with these questions, we can start to untangle ourselves from the distortions of wealth and anchor our faith more deeply in the surprising, life-giving truth of the gospel. Thanks so much for watching today. If this message resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. We'd love to have you as part of our community. God bless and see you next time.